EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Settles in over the putt. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second.
Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And he's made it onto the green now. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. So here we are at the third hole, par 4, again 428 yards. Frank, have you ever seen anything quite like the bunkering that we have here on the left side of this hole?
No, the church pews, they're famous obviously for Oakmont, and they have that tendency to drag your eye to that left side. Really, you hit anything that you can get off on the fairway off this tee, whether it's a long iron, I don't care what it is. If you want to try and hit driver down there, well, good luck, because this really is about the second shot. Somehow avoid that trouble there so you've got a second shot.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. These putts keep the round together. Ooh, that hurts. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
So a tester from 4 feet. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law. Now, with 9 holes to go, bogeys become so much more expensive.
Frank, at Oakmont, you have to take advantage of scoring opportunities when they present themselves. Is this one of those moments here, the par 5, 4th hole at 609 yards?
It'll certainly be one of the holes that determine the champion, because the difference between making 4 and 6 on this hole is extremely slim. Very, very stringent tee shot. You're heading towards those church pews and trying to cut the ball away from it. It's easy to see why Jack Nicklaus, who faded the ball, and Ben Hogan won around here.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Wow, I didn't expect that. Bogey here yesterday, now this for birdie. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par 4, 462 yards.
Yeah, this one can play a lot of different distances. And the reason why is if you can sneak a driver to catch the downslope, it can run all the way down. You can have just a wedge in here. If you're not as fortunate, you leave it hanging up on that hill. It plays a good 200 yards for your second.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Well, that's just a tee to green clinic, a seminar on how to do it the right way. Every single green in regulation. Could it be?
Well, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont. Par 4, 379 yards. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Not quite enough on that one. Couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just 2 putts.
I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Frank, what happened there?
Glasses fell off.
We are at the par 5 12th here at Oakmont. This is a big par 5 at 667 yards.
Tom Weisskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
Second shot. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Playing his third here at the par 5. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. From a long par 5 to a relatively short par 3. We're at the 13th at Oakmont, 183 yards. Frank?
Another hole because of the shape of this green that you're almost breaking down into 3 sections. That front little circle you can see, the bit in the middle or the bit at the back. You're trying to play to one of those 3 sections.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
This from 7 feet. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's the final round of the Pittsburgh Invitational. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. We're at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Good putt. 14, pretty short par 4 at 358 yards. Frank?
Get the ball in play here, and certainly your best opportunity for birdie on the second 9 so far.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. That was not a very good read right there. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Something about this hole, it has not been kind. Bogey yesterday and staring at another one today. That's a bogey. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. What a test here, Frank.
It certainly is. The tee shot here is a little bit like the par 5 12th, where the fairway slopes quite severely from left to right. It means the pews there on the left side are actually not a bad place to aim at. You just have to allow for that kick and roll towards the right. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong. Now, that's a good par there, Rich.
Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. A par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
And he's made it onto the green now. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Steady climber, Frank.
Yeah, now on the first page of the leaderboard.
Frank, here we are at the 17th. It's only 313 yards. That's par 4, by the way. Nowadays, that could be a par 3. What's the right way to play this hole, or does it simply depend on where you are in the championship?
I think it depends on where you are in the championship. Sometimes people try and hit drivers at drivable par 4s. Believe it or not necessary to make birdie, but it's the easiest option to make 4. One of the problems here at 17, if you do lay it up and the flag is on the right side, you turn it into a very, very difficult short par 4. And that's the reason why people often try and drive these greens.
In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. A beautiful, soft touch out of the bunker. That's Mickelson-esque. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Time to regroup. That's a double bogey. Great finishing hole here at Oakmont, Frank, the 18th.
I remember back in 1994, this was the last hole in a U.S. Open ever played by Arnold Palmer. Couldn't pick a better finishing hole to win a championship or say farewell.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Cleans that up in the hole. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.